Hey, my name is PolishLynx. Welcome to Katawa Shoujo. We're going shopping, probably. Also, this is a new part of town. We have not seen that one yet. Nice. Bored of standing in the place and watching the television in the shop window, I pulled myself away from the tucked display with little effort. After leaving at Yamaku, the city seems like an entirely different world. No running in the halls. Calm and orderly conduct is to be used at all the times in the classrooms. Students are to exit rooms after checking both directions for oncomers. Elevators are reserved for movement-impaired students. Single file on stairs. Compared to such a strict, almost regimental standards, the city's shopping arcade might as well be a strange country. While the school may have its fair share of hustle and bustle during the festival, the outside world is much different. It's strange. Having lived in a metropolitan city before my accident, this should feel more natural than Yamaku and the surrounding town ever could. Yet, it feels foreign, somehow. The elevated walkways, the tall buildings, each adorned with billboards taller than any free people, don't do anything to distract me from the passing crowd's reactions. Everyday outfit so nice! Lilly keeps one hand on my shoulder, the other holding her cane, which taps the ground with a metronome-like steadiness. Looking over to her, that neutral smile of hers still holds. I can only see her in school uniform. I do not have recognized her as she sat on a bench waiting for me to come. If not for her cane propped up against it and her distinctive hair. I can't tell whether they glanced at her due to her height, her foreign looks, her obvious blindness, or all three. Not that any of those would make the situation any less uncomfortable than it is. You don't feel uncomfortable? Do you have any ideas of where to look first, Hisao? Her soft voice breaks me out of my line of thought. I can imagine that she is failing to notice the attention she garners. But she seems unfazed by it. I get a feeling that she's the type to enjoy walking outside, so she might be used to it by now. No, not really. This is my first time in the city, so I've got no idea where to go. She furrows her brow in thought, planning the route for us to take, and come to think of it, a way to communicate it. Something I noticed in the time I've been with her is how, when deep in thought, she lacks close to any form of body language to show it. Her expression might change, but not a hint of movement shows. She seems to have little in the way of sweeping physical gestures in general though, so I assumed it's part of her reserved nature. Is there a large electronics store near here? I take a quick look around, mostly finding clothing stores. After a few seconds, I notice a store with a bright blue sign some distance away that fits the description. Yeah, it's just a bit ahead of us. Should we go in that direction? Thankfully, just the information she needed. With a nod, we start off and towards least unknown destination, landmarks being our guide. Here you go, one vanilla, one chocolate. I want all of them. I hand the money over to the counter and take the cones to the railing that Lee's sitting on. I can't believe I let her trick me like this. She not only led me to an ice cream stall, but also got me to buy her one. At least she gave me the money for hers. Dude, just give the money back. How could you? Sure enough, she's patiently waiting where I'd left her. I guess she was planning on making the day an event rather than a simple shopping trip. I call out to her and slowly place the vanilla cone in her outstretched hands, being careful to make sure she has a good hold of it before letting go. At least her tastes are fairly normal. What do you mean by that? I was worried she'd ask for some weird flavor when she asked first. What? Define weird flavor. Here's the change. It's okay, keep it. Here's the change! I was surprised but realized the futility of doing so over such a small amount. I slipped the coin into my pocket, supplementing my meager allowance ever so slightly. I would feel so bad. Lily shows no signs of wanting to get up, so I take a seat beside her and start eating my own ice cream. The summer weather is nice. Hopefully we hold out for a while. You too? I begin to think I'm the only person who prefers winter. I like winter. I like winter! Okay, but I like summer as well. I actually don't like autumn and spring that much. I'm weird, but I prefer it, you know, either winter, super cold, maybe not super cold, but I don't mind if it's like a little bit under 0, that's good. But if there is snow, that's winter. If there is no snow, it's not winter. You can't call it winter. And, well, I just like summer. I just like it. That's all there is to it. Both are grateful. I contemplate her statement for a long moment. But, well, basically spring and autumn here are kinda crappy. I mean, rain and so on, it's crappy. Yeah, I think you might be. Except I like winter. It draws the intended reaction. She's cute when she's pouting. Still, I can't imagine what's so good about winter. You can't go out without bundling up, and you still freeze anyway. Actually, the only parts of me that get cold are freaking hands, fingers, and also toes. I don't know why, but fingers and toes are the parts where actually I feel almost every time. Like, it's cold. Damn it. Other than that, not really. Ears maybe as well, because I don't like wearing winter hats. Caps, winter hat, winter cap, whatever, hat. Yeah. I used to live further north, where there would be plenty of snow to play in, so it's a little nostalgic. I don't like the heat very much either. At least you can wear a skirt, so don't complain about that. Maybe she doesn't like fun. Skirts are great for. She gives an amused giggle as we both get back to finishing off our already melting cones. I idly sit and watch the crowds going by us we eat, catching bits and pieces of conversation. Looking to Lilly, I see her dutifully licking her ice cream on the top downwards, blissfully aware of the fact that it's beginning to melt. Why are we describing this? It's melting. Where? Down a bit. She lowers her mouth from the top of the cone, but has no idea of exactly where the ice cream is dripping. What follows is a game of guiding her left and right until she finally finds it. To any onlooker, it must have been an absolute bizarre view. I gave her eyes, closed, turning her cone over and over as the guy next to her gives instructions. A strange variant of childhood blindfold games, maybe. Yeah, I'm sure that's what everyone thought. In good time, we finally finish our treats, and while away that I am conversing casually. Caught mid-sentence, Lily perks her head in her trademark manner. It's an unmistakable sign that something's got her attention. Ah! What is it? Is Akira somewhere over there? I think I heard her. I raise an eyebrow as I look in the direction she's facing, somewhat doubtful of her ability to pick out Akira's long voice in the din. Are you shitting me right now? Damn. Sure enough, a blonde girl in a suit can be seen through the tiny gaps between people walking every which way. I raise a hand and wave, trying to catch her attention. Sato! Hey Sato! She stops in tracks and looks towards me, evidently noticing my calls. As she does, and there's someone walking beside her. I can get a good look at whoever it is for before the two begin walking towards where we are. As they reach us, Lee and I stand and dust ourselves off. Akira! Hey, you two! Oh my god, what voice did I use? I don't remember. She nods towards me, a gesture which I quickly return. My gaze shifts towards the young girl next to her. That's not a girl. And our eyes meet. As they do, Akira plops a hand onto her head, a move which doesn't seem to face her. Was it that?
I don't believe we've met. I'm Hideaki. Pleased to meet you, Hisao.
I think that was the voice. A guy's name, huh? Yes, I does dodge the bullet there. He bows somewhat restrained by Akira's hand being on his head. Oh, Hideaki's here too? Are you well?
Akira's been taking very good care of me, thank you.
Akira grins as if to affirm the point and rubs his head hard, dragging it around in a circular motion. His dreary face during this somewhat amusing. Uncle is out on business again, so I'm just taking him around the town for 2 days. What? Uncle. Is it me, or was it not actually mentioned in Shizune's route? I think it wasn't. That they have the... Or maybe it was? They my sucky memory! I would have prepared to spend the day on a date with my boyfriend, but... Hideaki gives a call to try and redirect Akira's thoughts. As he does so, I find mine wondering. They're related. And further, as first cousins, I suppose that explains why she's taking care of him in any case. Come to think of it, Hideaki, how did you know my name? Okay.
Akira told me, being a Yamaku student, I suppose you're disabled in some way.
Ow. Not everyone in Yamaku is disabled. Which I only learned a handful of days ago. I give silent thanks to Shun and Misha for their stream of information about how the school works. Because of them, I found out that since the school will accept practically anybody suffering from non-mental disabilities, it doesn't discriminate against healthy people either. Nice! Yo! I want to move back in time and go to Yamaku school. It seems unlikely that men in good health would enroll there for. While the standard of education is pretty high, it's extremely isolated and very much focused on helping disabled students.
You're dodging the question.
Damn, he's sharp! Before I can say another word for, he decides to take a stab at himself.
If I were to call it myself, you're hard.
Akira looks mildly curiously at me. Her interest piqued as well. That sure was a lucky guess. How did you...
You show no missing lips or deformities, so external disabilities are out. Considering the lack of any strange mannerism, it's also unlikely that you have any mental disability. For you'll never know.
But Yamaku doesn't take mentally disabled students.
I know. Leaving that aside, the only possibility left is that of an internal disabilities. I don't know which one you might wear, so I guessed correctly as it turns out, and your reaction confirmed my guess.
More than a little bemused, I look to Akira. She grins and shrugs, obviously taking some enjoyment out of her partner's deductions. He's sharp, yes, but more than a little as unsympathetic. Logical, but lacking in tact. He said it reminds me of Shizune in a way, as do his looks.
May I ask where strength be? Surely I'm not that unusual of a specimen.
Does he not know how unusual he looks? I could overlook the spots and clothing as just being coincidental, but the ribbon in his hair really is too much. This is entirely beside the point for. Sorry. You just remind me of someone. Akira gives him a sharp jab with her elbow. Told you you're not that much different from her. He coughs into his hand to try to maintain an upright and serious demeanor.
I see you've met my sister then. Perhaps my full name might help you. I'm Hideaki Hakamichi. You're probably thinking of my sister, Shizune Hamichi.
Oh, so he's Shizune's brother. Wait a minute! If Hidaki is the son of Akira's uncle and Shizune is his sister, then that means Lily and Shizune's father are brothers-in-law, therefore... Lily and Shizune are first cousins? Lily groans in an uncharacteristically unrestrained manner. The reaction earns an amused smirk from her sister. The enmity between the two just took on another meaning. I have thought it's simply a matter of difficulty of communication between the two, but a family thought makes things much more complicated. Happens. You can choose your friends, but you can't choose your family. Yeah. That's true. You're correct about that. But then again, that doesn't mean you can't sorta, you know, keep that part away. She gives a half-hearted shrug. She mustn't give as much weight to the two's conflict as I do. Well, that's how it is. What are you up to anyway on this fine day? We're shopping for Hanako's birthday present. The day will be coming up soon, so this is the last chance he will have before school starts again for the week. Akira makes a strange face, as if Lily had just said that the sky wasn't blue and the clouds not white. Isn't her birthday on the 10th next month? Yeah. Why? Is something wrong? Akira's face seems to collapse. It's an utterly unbefitting expression for someone so rowdy and headstrong. The folks didn't call you yet? As Lily shakes her head cluelessly, I look at Hidaki to see if he knows anything about this. A simple shrug is his only answer. For Akira ponders what to do before smiling once again. The fact that she can hide her emotions so quickly and effectively is unsettling. What's she talking about? Hey Shorty, sorry, but could you hang with Hisao for a while? He nods and waves her off, Akira placing an arm on Lily's shoulder as she guides her away and out of earshot. And so, I'm alone with Shorty. So, nice weather, isn't it?
It seems so.
I guess they dumped us.
Indeed.
What a farcical attempt at small talk. I've got no idea how to talk to this guy, and his robotic responses aren't being helpful. Blood and stone come to mind. Without another word, he begins to rock on his feet in an obvious gesture of boredom with his discussion. He really is like a little kid despite his serious demeanor. Suspecting the conversation over, I decide to accomplish what I came here to do in the first place. I'm going to go search for a present. Coming?
Not much else to do.
In a little while, we come to a small shop beside a convenience store. For once, the store windows aren't filled with electronics and computer games, but dolls, stuffed bears, and all manners of wood-crafted oddities. Othello's Antiques. An antique store. Well, if there's anything in this town that suits Kanako, I guess it would be here. What? Why would you say that? I reach for the odd-looking door handle, but pull back at the last minute as I realize my companion's gone adrift. Not coming in?
I'll just be in the newsstand for a while, don't mind me.
His voice makes it painfully clear he has zero interest in what's in the store and that he doesn't feel obligated to follow me. As he wanders off without another word, I push the thick wooden door and enter the store, a bell above me ringing out. Dun, dun, dun. The musty smell of old books and wooden shelves is distinctly anachronistic. I look to the counter beside the door. The graying man behind it sits there silently reading a tattered book. He certainly faints the look of the place. Slowly wandering through the aisles, the person I am reminded of as I inspect each handcrafted or imported oddity in turn isn't Hanako. Crouching down, I examined the ancient oak desk inside the shop window. At least 30 dolls, all varying wildly in size and make. The only similarity between them is the long Victorian dresses they wear. I turned the price tag of one that looks to be about waist height.
It's not in my price bucket at all.
I do the same to each of them, getting more and more depressed as they get smaller and smaller in size. But not in price. That is until I reach the very smallest one. It's affordable, just yet of quality make and with long auburn hair and a little blue dress. I decide that is the kind of present Hanako would appreciate, pretty looking and far from gaudy. After I carefully pick it up, I decide to keep looking around the store. I'm not sure whether it's because I like the atmosphere or out of the simple curiosity. Peeking around the corner before I go to the next aisle, I see that the shelves in this one are stocked with wooden toys, from toy cars to intricate automatons. Tucked behind a line of nutcrackers, I notice a little plain wooden box. It feels surprisingly light as I pick it up with my free hand. The lid only needs the smallest movement to pop open. The little metal drum inside beginning to rotate immediately. That's a freaking nice gift, by the way. For seconds on end, I simply stand there listening to the palm-sized melody. As it plays, I take the tiny price tag in my fingers and bring it up to my face. The minuscule cursive writing takes some effort to read. It's affordable, sort of. Grimacing slightly, I close the lid and make my way to the counter with doll and the music box in hand. When I lay the two on the counter, the man behind it sits up and takes stock of them. He doesn't hide very well his surprise at someone of my age buying them. It's painful, but I hand over the money for the two and leave the store with a small backpack in hand. Hideaki being there takes me by surprise. Oh, hi. I thought you'd be at the newsstand.
Akira gave me a call. She's waiting for us at the fountain with Lilly.
At least that solves the issue of trying to find them again. Let's go. We head back to the fountain. Hideaki's immaculate posture and presentation, despite his appearance, makes for a strange contrast even as we walk. Lilly and Akira stand there, waiting for us. Their faces hard to read. I would say Lily's is not hard to read. That was some bad news, wasn't it? Hey, you ready to go, Shorty? Hideaki's mood seems to improve as he rejoins her. See you, Lilly, so tell Nakai sir happy birthday! We will, bye.
Goodbye, Akira.
And with that, the two disappear into the fracas of the afternoon city crowd. Turning to Lilly, she's carrying a small bag. It's not now that I realize why her expression felt different from before. While Lilly is typically the type to wear her emotions on her sleeve, her expression and tone are clouded and difficult to read. It's more than a little off-putting, but given the effort she's making to hide her emotions, I doubt she wants to be cornered or once she's feeling this way. Already bought Hanako a present?
Yeah, have you?
Yeah.
Shall we head back to the bus stop then?
Okay, there should be a bus back to Yamaku pretty soon. And with that, we begin to walk. It feels strange compared to before. Lily's hand on my forearm feels unusually tense, and the whole atmosphere is extraordinarily awkward.
Do you want to talk about it? Lily? Do you want to talk about it, Lily? Lily? Do you want to talk about it? That's an important question right now.
I would ask, to be honest.
Hanako's birthday party is going to have to be held earlier. Is the 4th going to be alright for you?
I have no other possible obligations anyway, so I reflexively not. Only afterwards do I remember that doing so pointless and quickly answers to my speech. So by speech. She tries to collect herself, a task that looks almost pitiable in how plain it is to see how distant her thoughts are.
Sorry, Hisao. You said the bus would be coming soon, right?
That's right. But now that she says that, I have an idea. Actually, do you have anything to do later today?
I don't believe so. What do you ask?
This is the point where I normally take your hand and rush you somewhere, but even without that, you'll have to trust me, okay? I take her hand and gently lead her on, her distant face replaced by one of mild surprise and curiosity. As the waitress sets the cup of tea and cup of coffee that I ordered on the table, I thank her before she takes her leave. Truth be told, I really lucked out in finding this cafe. I didn't really know where I was going, rather I was just looking for any cafe that looked relatively nice. Having managed to recover a little, Lilly tentatively sips at her cup as I take a long gulp of the coffee in front of me. As I hoped, her face lights up as she realizes what flavor it is. Ah, this was wonderful. Hisao, how did you know that this was... I'd ask for French vanilla black tea, hedging my bets that it would be her favorite flavor, or at least one she liked. While I don't really know much about tea, it sounded like one she might appreciate. On the basis of her liking vanilla ice cream, a tea connoisseur I'm definitely not. Yes, same. I mean, I maybe drink a lot of tea, but you know, it's a instant tea. It was a lucky guess. You really like tea, don't you? She puts her teacup down and gives a tiny nod. That familiar small smile thankfully perched on her face once again. Drinking tea is calming, I think. With the amount you drink, are you sure you're not addicted to it? Huh? Caffeine addiction is pretty common nowadays. Did I ever say I wasn't? She lets out a giggle as my head drops. We all have our vices, I suppose. And there are worse things to be addicted to, yeah. French vanilla black tea, I'll have to remember that. For a while, we both silently drink. It's comforting to have someone like her nearby in such new surroundings, even if it's just the two of us sitting in silence. I begin to wonder if this feeling is the same for her, until she sets down her cup. Hisao, do you mind if I ask you a slightly odd question? That depends on the question, I guess. I was wondering, what your favorite color is? Everyone has one after all. I don't know. What's my favorite color? I actually don't know what's my favorite color. Like, basically, I don't think there is any color that I would dislike. Then again, there are colors that I would probably, for example, not wear, for sure. But I don't know. Maybe blue? Or maybe red? Who knows? Who knows? I mean, doesn't matter, doesn't it? I mean, yeah. Anyway, almost replied before listening why the seemingly mundane question is actually quite strange. My favorite, but she gives a pouting look, wanting me to answer anyway. While the answer seems unavoidably wasted on her, there isn't any harm in giving it. I've always had a thing for green. I'd say that's my favorite. Green is it? What things do you think of when contemplating that color? I suppose grass fields and trees in summer. They are me as well with camouflage? No, come on. Army? No. Men always seem to like the military. No. No. Why? Why would I don't. Screw the military. But that sounds like a nice color. A very nice color. She nods her head a little, as if approving of the choice, considering how foreign the concept of color is to her mind. Labeling it by association seems reasonable enough. If everyone has a favorite color, then what's yours?
White. I'm told that's the color of snow and of ice cream.
You know better than me then. If you don't like that color because of her favorite food, I guess white is nice too for. And speaking of colors, it will be getting dark soon. Let me help you up. Lilly offers her hand, which I take in mind to help her lever up from her seat at the table. Its softness compared to mine takes me off guard, as I'm really not used to such casual contact. It doesn't seem to bother her at all, well, it seems obviously why. It feels like just one more ladylike aspect to her. As her hand moves to her pocket, I quickly cut her off. Don't worry, I'll pay for this.
Oh, thank you, Hisao.
She gives an earnest smile at the gesture, a reward much greater than that of her words. By the time we step off the bus, it's well and truly dark. It's truly dark. We make our way up the hill in silence, both of us behaving a little awkwardly, probably because of the day's events. While I'm still concerned over Lilly's withdrawn nature after meeting with her sister, the fact I managed to cheer her up, even slightly, feels like a personal victory. But it feels like the air between us has changed. Maybe it's only a bit, but it's something I don't think either of us realized before.
That was a date, wasn't it?
It was. That doesn't elude either of us. The question's answer being so self-evident as to be rhetorical. Awkward as it may be, I don't think the feeling is bad. In fact, quite the opposite. I don't know what it is. I certainly can't be sure, but it feels like something a little more than friendship. Understanding, empathy, searching for words to adequately describe it is difficult, nonetheless. Would you like to do this again sometime, Lilly? Without shopping for presents, maybe? The tentative question is met with the same look from Lilly as before. Her pale skin makes the rose tint of her cheeks just slightly more noticeable, and her face, though still pointed to the street ahead of hers, lowers just a little bit.
Okay.
I mean, she can't say it. I'm sorry I said that, but I'd be happy as heck in a situation like that. Anyway, let's end the episode. We'll continue tomorrow. I don't know what to expect. And why is like the Hanako's birthday rushed? I guess we'll find out eventually. For now, hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you all tomorrow and have a wonderful day.